Hey, I'm Chef Brandon, and today I'm going to be making for you wild mushroom risotto with bacon wrapped scallops. So we're going to start with the risotto. So the ingredients I'm going to be using are some butter. I've got some garlic, a sweet onion, lemon. I've got assortment of mushrooms. I've got some portobellas, some creminis, and some basic button mushrooms. I've got arborio rice, 1 cup. Very important to use arborio rice, not any other type. Some fresh thyme, and some grana padano that we're going to peel into the parm, or peel into the risotto. I've got some salt and some coarse black pepper, and then just some basic white wine, a Pinot Grigio. It's important to use white wine, but nothing sweet like a Moscato, so a Pinot works very, very well. So I'm going to get the onion going here. Basic small dice. Mince 3 of our garlic cloves, so crush with the knife. When you're mincing your garlic, a lot of people don't know this, but add a bit of salt to it, helps break it down. Start by adding a good heaping spoonful of butter to our sauté pan. And we're going to put our minced garlic and onions in there. Doing this over medium to low heat. We're going to sweat our onions until they're translucent, but be very, very careful not to burn them. So we're going to add our cup of arborio rice now. And it's important to toast this off before you add the liquid. So you know when you're ready to add your white wine, because the outside of the rice is becoming translucent, while the inside you almost have a little bean of white, but the outside has been toasted. Now we're going to add probably about half a cup of white wine. And the rice is going to start absorbing the liquid. And from there we're going to add our chicken stock, 1 ladle at a time, while continuing to mix. And you're going to do this for quite a while. It can take up to half an hour. Okay, we're going to prep our mushrooms. So if they're big, you're going to want to cut them in half. And then you're going to want to just give them a nice slice. And if they're small, you can just slice them. So I'm going to pick some thyme now. So holding the top of the stem, I'm just going to pull the leaves off. We're going to add that into our mushrooms while they're sauteing. So we're going to mince 2 more cloves of garlic. A little bit of extra virgin olive oil. You want the pan to be smoking hot. Mushrooms absorb quite a bit of oil, so you want to be fairly generous with it. So our mushrooms in the pan here. We don't want to add our garlic yet. A lot of people will say to add the garlic at the beginning, but garlic will just burn. And we want to get as much flavor out of the mushrooms as we can before we add our garlic into the mushrooms. We're going to bring the heat down a little bit just to be safe. If you burn your garlic, it makes your entire dish have a very bitter aftertaste. So to add the thyme, I'm going to take the thyme and I'm going to put it in my hand here. Because it's a bit coarse, I'm just going to rub it. A lot of those beautiful earthy flavors out of it. Before I add this to my risotto, as I deglaze with white wine, get all the flavors off. You can tell that it's getting close to being done by you just taste the rice, and you want it to be a little bit chewy, but fairly soft and very palatable. So when you're getting close to that point and it's absorbing less liquid and it's looking a bit creamy, you can start by adding some of your flavoring ingredients. So grana padano, parm. And I use a vegetable peeler and I just peel it in straight into the pot. We're going to fold this in. And at this point I like to add some fresh lemon zest, so using the rind of the lemon and using a rasp, just grate a little bit of the fresh lemon rind right into your risotto. You never want a risotto that's too dry. If it gets a little bit dry, just add more liquid. You want it to go on the plate and slowly run. And I think we have a beautiful finished risotto. Now we're gonna prep our scallops and sear them off. So I've got some scallops here. I've got some bacon. We're gonna bacon wrap them. And I've got some toothpicks to keep them together. I've got the juice from my lemon I zested into the risotto. I've got some butter, because everything's good with butter. I've Got some extra virgin olive oil and salt and pepper. So we're going to start by removing the abductor muscles off our scallops, which are little muscles that are just attached to the side of the scallop. Take our bacon and we're going to lay it the length of the cutting board, and we're going to cut off this fatty part here and discard it. Then we're going to take our scallop, and around the narrow part, we're just going to wrap it around like so, keeping the shape of the scallop. And once it's completely around, we'll cut the bacon off, and we'll get our toothpick and we'll pick the side of it. Heat up your pan good and hot before you even add your oil. And then when you add your oil, it should be basically smoking. And you can flip them. See how I've got good sear on them? Beautiful, crusty outside. And squeeze a little fresh lemon juice over top and add a good spoonful of butter. So we're cooking about 1.5 minutes on each side, and we don't want to cook them too hard or else they'll be rubbery. These scallops are done. So remove them from the heat and out of the pan onto some paper towel. Alright, so let's plate. I chose to garnish mine with some just fresh baguette and some pea shoots, but you can use whatever you want. You could use asparagus, you could use little baby peppers, you could use chives, really anything you want. Tomatoes, anything. And a little curl of Parmesan cheese on each one. So there you have it, beautiful wild mushroom risotto with bacon wrapped scallops, a little bit of bread, and some pea shoots. Very, very simple and very easy to execute, but looks very, very sophisticated at the end.